Welcome to Ida's Kitchen. Bienvenidos. My name is Ida Lugo McAllister, and I am going to demonstrate how to prepare Piñón Pizza. Piñón is a plantain meat pie prepared with layers of fried ripe plantains, ground beef, string beans, and beaten eggs. When I was living in Puerto Rico in the 1970s, this dish was traditionally prepared in a skillet and cooked on top of the stove. However, today we prefer to bake the piñón. Last year I visited a restaurant in Puerto Rico and ordered a Piñón Pizza for the first time. It was so delicious that I decided to create my own version of this pizza. For this recipe, I will be using ground turkey, gouda cheese, French-style string beans, a ripe plantain, and bread flour. Set your oven to the proof mode and let's start preparing the dough. I already heated 1 cup of room temperature water in the microwave for 1 minute. The water needs to reach a temperature between 100 to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's check the water temperature with a digital thermometer. Yes, it is registering a temperature of 107 degrees Fahrenheit. In a small bowl, pour the water along with 1 tablespoon of sugar. Stir to dissolve the sugar. Add 1 packet of instant yeast. And stir well. Let's cover bowl with a dish towel and place in the oven to proof for 10 minutes or until it becomes foamy. If you don't have an oven proofer, then just find a spot in your kitchen with a consistent warm temperature from 75 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. While the yeast mixture is proofing, add 2½ cups of bread flour into bowl along with 1 teaspoon of light salt. Mix the ingredients with a whisk and set aside. The yeast mixture appears to be foamy on top, known as bubbly active yeast, after 10 minutes of proofing. Gradually add 1½ tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil and gently stir. We can now prepare the dough using a stand mixer. We are going to mix the dough using the lowest setting. For this mixer, it is the first notch. We are ready to make our dough. I added 2½ cups of the bread flour mixture into mixing bowl. Now let's pour the yeast mixture. The dough hook will mix and knead the dough. Stir the ingredients using the lowest setting. The dough will be ready when there is little or no dough at the bottom or sides of mixer. There is very little or no dough in mixing bowl. The dough is mainly concentrated on the dough hook. We just finished preparing our dough. Place dough on top of kitchen counter that has been lightly sprinkled with bread flour. Shape dough into a ball. The dough is round and has a smooth surface. I coated the bowl with olive oil, and you can also lightly brush olive oil on top of dough. Cover bowl with a dish towel and place in the oven to proof the dough for 30 minutes to 1 hour. The dough should double in size. While the dough is proofing, let's prepare the meat mixture. In a 10-inch skillet, add the following ingredients. 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. 1 tablespoon of sofrito made with culantro. 3 minced garlic cloves. 1/4 cup of chopped onions. 3 sprigs of chopped cilantro, and 1 teaspoon of light salt or to taste. Stir all the ingredients until well blended and saute for 3 to 5 minutes over medium heat. We can now add 1 pound of ground turkey and stir until it is completely coated with the condiments. Cover skillet with lid and cook over medium-low heat for approximately 3 minutes. After 3 minutes of cooking, let's stir the meat. Since we want the meat to remain in chunks, similar to Italian sausage, we need to limit the frequency of stirring the ground turkey. If you stir the meat too much, then it will have a minced texture, which is what we want to avoid. Cover skillet with lid and continue cooking for approximately 25 minutes, stirring occasionally. The meat mixture is done after 25 minutes of cooking. You can see the chunks of meat in the skillet. The meat mixture is ready. Place in a bowl and set aside. I opened and drained the liquid from the can of French-style green beans. The string beans will be one of the toppings when we prepare the pizza. It isn't a pizza unless you top the pizza with cheese. Mozzarella cheese is normally used for pizza. However, I grated 1.5 pounds of Gouda cheese, since this is one of our favorite cheeses in Puerto Rico. The Gouda cheese will easily melt due to its high fat content. Since the dough is still proofing, let's saute 1 ripe plantain. This is a ripe plantain. The flesh is slightly firm with yellow skin color that has several dark spots. The plantain is a member of the banana family, but is much thicker and starchier than the familiar banana. For this recipe, you will need 1 ripe plantain. With a sharp knife, cut off both ends. And make a slit lengthwise, barely touching the flesh from top to bottom. Peel the plantain. Now we can cut the plantain into 1/2 16-inch diagonal slices. One plantain will yield 5 to 8 slices depending on the size of the plantain. The next step is to saute the ripe plantain slices. In a 10-inch skillet, melt 1 tablespoon of margarine made with extra virgin olive oil over medium heat. Place the plantain slices into skillet once the margarine has melted. Saute until they have a golden brown color on both sides. As the plantain slices brown on one side, turn them over to brown on the other side. After sauteing for a total of 15 minutes, they are golden brown on both sides. Remove the slices of plantain from skillet and place on a cutting board. Since the cooked plantain slices will be used as one of our toppings, let's cut them into smaller pieces with a sharp knife. Place the cooked plantain chunks into a bowl and set aside. Preheat oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. This is a 16-inch round baking pan. Let's sprinkle cornmeal on top to avoid the dough from sticking to surface. The dough has almost doubled in size. Place dough onto floured surface. Roll dough to measure the size of pan that you will use to make the pizza. When the dough is completely rolled out, fold the dough in half and fold again. Carefully place dough on top of pizza pan and unfold. Tuck under the excess dough around the outer edges of pan. The next step is to apply pressure around the inside bottom edges to shape the outer crust. We are ready to assemble the pizza. Let's start with brushing tomato sauce on top of dough. You can use spaghetti sauce if you prefer. Add a layer of gouda cheese to cover sauce. Let's now add the Piñón Pizza toppings, starting with the seasoned meat, cooked plantain chunks, and string beans. Cooked plantain chunks. And string beans. Since I love cheese, I am going to sprinkle a small amount of cheese along with the remaining seasoned meat, plantain chunks, and string beans. We just completed preparing the Piñón Pizza. Place in the oven at 450 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes or until the cheese is completely melted and the dough is lightly brown around the edges. Piñón Pizza is ready. The crust is golden brown and the cheese is completely melted. As I mentioned earlier, the piñón contains beaten eggs, which serves as a binding agent. Since the dough will support all the ingredients, the eggs are not needed. For your information, you can also increase or decrease the quantity of each ingredient. I will share a link on how to prepare our traditional piñón for those individuals that are interested. Let's taste the Piñón Pizza. The dough is very soft and it does taste like a piñón. The sweetness of the plantain chunks along with the saltiness of the meat and cheese makes this combination so tasty and unique. ¡Qué rico! I hope you have enjoyed watching my YouTube video on how to prepare Piñón Pizza. Thank you for watching my YouTube cooking video. Please share, like, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you would like a copy of my cookbook, visit my website, aidaskitchenboricua.com, and click on the cookbook tab. My cookbook is a bilingual Puerto Rican cookbook, and it contains 42 authentic Puerto Rican recipes that I learned how to cook while living in Puerto Rico. This side is the English version. If you flip the book over, the other side is the Spanish version. Again, thank you for watching my YouTube cooking video.